the meeting. So for all who are interested or concerned or otherwise, we are recording this meeting for posterity. So, and again, the meeting will be online. So yeah, the meetings will move to Breath of God Church in May, not next month, but in May. We'll have one more month of virtual meetings where we can remind anybody who's not in attendance tonight to go there. Breath of God Church will be in the sanctuary. Does anybody else on the board have anything to offer up tonight?
When is that again that we're going to those hybrid meetings? What month?
The May meeting.
So not next month, the month
Not
after.
next month, the following month.
Just making
Correct.
sure. Okay, cool.
And the plan is for that to be a hybrid meeting, not like people who don't want to come to the meeting in person will still be able to attend online.
Correct. Thank you for the clarification. Does anybody else on the board have anything to offer tonight?
Can I talk about Blockenstein?
Yes, please.
Okay, we're going to have Blockenstein this year, I believe. We have a team that came together. We're having our first meeting Thursday. For those who don't know, it's a small community yard sale. The spots are free and, you know, people come out and we have burgers and hot dogs afterwards. It's a wonderful day. A lot of people we don't often get to see in these meetings come out, so I kind of like it for that. It's going to be June 4th, and it's at Elwood and Bank Street, right at the Patterson Park. So if anyone would like to join, please contact me, or please send a message to the Highlandtown Gmail address, and we could sure use your help.
Yeah, if anybody sends anything to highlandtown21224@gmail, please put Blockenstein or yard sale or something in the header so that it's obvious and easy for me to forward it on to John and anyone else.
Yep.
Anybody else on the board have anything?
I was just gonna let everyone know we've been talking about Art in the Right of Way pedestrian safety project on Eastern and Elwood. And so we were just talking a bit in the board meeting. We're planning to get started with by filling out Department of Transportation community-based program application. So there might actually be, I think we need like a letter of support from HCA. So there might be some asks before that, you know, as we're kind of gearing up for that project. So just a heads up about that. And then, yeah, we have a design and a proposal and we're pretty excited about it and just, you know, waiting for things to come together as far as a funding source and that type of thing, but working on some of the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, just wanted to mention that and can answer any questions if folks have them.
Can you offer up a few details about what the kind of loosely formed plan is, where it's going to be and such?
Yeah, so we talked about the intersection of Eastern and Elwood. We did a pedestrian safety walk that many of you were on last fall, and you know, just during the walk, observed a lot of, as I call them, at that intersection. Just try, yeah. And so, so we after that we made a request for DOT to install the flex posts and to repaint. So whether and then it was winter, so DOT hasn't done that, but we need to follow up on that, but that'll be part of it. And then if folks are familiar with the work, I don't know, projects by Graham Corio Allen, he's done a lot of you know, similar design projects throughout the city. So basically he would fill in the space in between kind of the flex posts and crosswalk with street art, essentially, to make the pedestrian area more visible. And a big part of the project is the community-based design process. So Graham kind of put together like a loose, you know, sketch or proposal, but the actual details of the design, like we'll all have an opportunity to have input into that. And so, yeah, that's kind of the long and the short of it. We actually, I think, can share the proposal with this group. I don't think there's any reason not to. So let me figure out a good way to do that. And then folks can take a look, but just keep in mind, the actual design itself, like whatever the artwork looks like, that is, just sort of a placeholder until we all give Graham input into what we'd like to see that reflects our community and whatever we'd like to see. But yeah, the idea is to increase visibility on that intersection. And I'll mention that we also made a request for a red light camera there. So we need to follow up on all these. But we were working with Councilman Cohen and Delegate Lewis. And so we feel they've been really responsive and helpful in moving things along, and DOT has been great too. It's just they said that they paused some of these projects during the winter because of weather and whatnot. And then the other thing that we're waiting for is Southeast CDC Spruce Up grant opportunity, which they will have this year, but they're just waiting to hear from the city and state to get their P's and Q's together on their end. And then the Spruce Up program will be open and will apply. So that's a little bit about the process and like loosely what the design will be. Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Good. Thanks, Kat. Anyone else on the board have anything to present tonight?
Yes, sir. I'm Sunil. Hi.
All right, well, we're going to review items from the board membership, and then we'll pass it out for general comments. And are you with with the restaurant?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
it's me and my dad.
Okay, so I will have so our presenters tonight are here to discuss a new taking over a facility, restaurant and bar on Haven Street, and then we'll have the people from Workshop Development here to discuss the Bank Street Apartments. That will be on at the end of the meeting. So for now, is there anybody else on the board who has anything to offer for the board segment? Okay. Then I will open the floor up for general comments from anyone. Is anyone? Amanda, I know you're here.
Hi there. So just from Highlandtown Main Street, just in the Highlandtown Arts District, just a few reminders, and I'll drop some links in the chat that the art walks are back on First Fridays. So please come out. The next one is on April 1st. It's no joke. We're having an art walk. So please come out. I am sure the temperature will drop 20 degrees for that night, as it always does, or it will rain. But we know that our spirits are we'll still be spirited and we'll still come out. So, and those will continue through the season. And again, there's a reminder that in July, we do take a little pause, but some of the venues stay open. So, some other things coming up, the Big Baltimore Kite Fest is put on and hosted by Creative Alliance and the Friends of Patterson Park. And they do an event in Patterson Park where you can come out and fly kites. That will be on April 2nd, the day after the art walk night. And so we will be doing a lot of promotions for restaurants in Highlandtown that you can go and get food at and take to the park. So we're encouraging everybody to please support your local. It's kind of like our own mini restaurant day. So grab food from your favorite Highlandtown location. Some will be featuring different picnic packs and things, and take them into the park. And we're doing our best to encourage our business owners to make them travel friendly so that you can eat them outside. And I think those are the big events we have. I think at the next meeting, Brian, someone from our team from the Conkling Plaza redesign team and Neighborhood Design Center will reach out, because we'll be coming out to all of you, both in the community, but also at these meetings, to share plans for the Conkling Plaza redesign. So we're working on redesigning Conkling and Eastern Avenue. See what will happen with that. And I think that's about it. If anyone has questions or is interested in joining our design team or wants to learn more about Main Street, you can always contact me.
Good. Thank you, Amanda. Does anybody else have any announcements tonight?
Hey, Brian, it's Erin. Can I give a
Hey,
quick
Erin.
update on the garden?
Yes, please.
So the Conkling Street Garden is holding a season kickoff on May 1st. That is a Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. We are currently taking any applications, not really applications, but any interested gardeners in the community should let me know if they're interested in getting a plot. We're also going to start doing more communal garden in shared beds. So this will be a new thing that we're trying this season to see how it goes, but it also allows more people to get involved and garden without necessarily the responsibility of being there every day during the summer and watering and taking care of plants. So it's a new way that we're approaching gardening at the garden this season. If anyone's interested in getting a plot, please email Conkling Street Garden, all of those together, no spaces, no dots, at gmail.com. And once again, that's Conkling Street Garden at gmail.com. I can also put that in the chat. We can always use volunteers to come out and help clean up around the garden, weed some of the beds in the garden. So again, if you're interested in just doing that on certain days when we have work days, you can also email me and let me know, and I can reach out to you and let you know when we're planning work days as well. That's all I have. Any questions about the garden? I guess I'll open it up to that.
I see a hand up, Pedersen Park Audubon. If you want to unmute yourself.
Well, it's not a question about the garden. I wanted to share a little bit about our center. So I don't know if there's any other questions about the garden before I share.
No, I guess it's you. You're up.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abraham Lopez. I'm from Pedersen Park Audubon Center. For those of you all that don't know what we do nature programs in the schools, in the community. We have worked in the community gardens as well in past years. But today I wanted to share with you that we're having a free birding event this Saturday at Pedersen Park from 8 in the morning to 9:30 a.m. So if you wanna get to know more about what we do and you like birds, I will invite you to please look into our website and register for that. And as well, if you don't have binoculars, you can always request binoculars for free. I just put the links into the chat. So if you want to get more information, you can click on the links on the chat. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you all is that we have our dates for the Baltimore Birding Weekend. It's going to happen on the second weekend of May, which is the 13th, the 14th of May. And that's a fundraise event that we do every year so we can keep running our center and doing the programs in the schools and in the communities. So it's a great way to support us all. And that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you all. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Good, great. Thank you, Abraham. Does anybody else have anything to offer before we go to one of our presenters? BJ, did you want to cover anything about the Easter egg hunt?
Yeah, if you guys could share it as much as possible, because we're not selling as many tickets as we thought we were going to. So Nick has it on our page. If you guys could share it and do word of mouth, because we're only going to sell the tickets for probably another week and then make a decision whether to cancel it or keep it going. So I'd appreciate that if you guys would do that.
Can you
What,
quickly
yeah, what
recap
is-
what it is, tell everybody what it is and what date?
Sorry, my allergies. I have a really hard time talking. Yeah, it's an adult Easter egg hunt on April 9th from 1 to 3. Tickets are $25. You will be able to have pizza, Chick-fil-A nuggets, beer, wine, water. The hunt will start at 1:30 and you get a chance to pick your eggs that will have miniatures in them, gift certificates throughout from the merchants in town, some lottery tickets, some scratch offs, and then just some fun Easter candy.
Good.
Thanks for
BJ.
sharing that, Kat.
Thanks for putting it together.
Yeah, thank you. Kat's put it in the chat.
All right, Talik.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Talik Johnson. I am with the State's Attorney's Office. I am your community liaison for Marilyn Mosby's office. My information is in the chat box. I'll repost it. If you have any questions about our office, you can reach out to me anytime. My number's there also. Also is my email address. I look forward to meeting you guys in person very soon. And please don't be a stranger if you need anything from me, please. I'm here to assist you in your community.
Thank you, Talik. Looking forward to seeing you live and in person in 2 months. Does anybody else have anything to offer from the floor? All right, so we will move to our first presenter. So Steve and Neil and I don't see the other names, but you guys are up.
Hi, I'm Neil. So basically, we just got the restaurant at 200 South Haven Street. And
thanks, Neil. Hey, everybody, Steve Fogelman. Let me just start off. Thank you so much for accommodating us on short notice. I just want to give a big shout out to Daylight Saving Time. It's awesome. I literally just booked 2 tickets to the adult Easter egg hunt because I'm intrigued. So anyway, that having been said, thank you guys so much for hosting us. 200 South Haven Street has kind of been a part of my life, like it's been to your life, and it's never been in a good way. The prior ownership, who has sold the building to Neil Sharma's family and father, is, I've gone dim. Okay, is quite frankly a breath of fresh air from what the community and the liquor board, going back to when I was on it, experienced. It's hard to say this. As a lawyer, I like to promote businesses, but this one was particularly disruptive to the community. And so much so that I had a case where I had the liquor board approve a restaurant license for 123 North Clinton Street, which technically was under the aegis of the Patterson Park Neighborhood Association. And one of the bigger objections to the installation of a restaurant license there was that Two Louie's Cantina owned that building. Like the lack of goodwill spilled over to a different neighborhood association. So I'm really excited, quite frankly, that the Vargas family is taken over at 110 South Haven Street, as you may know, and the Neal family is trying to take over at 200 South Haven Street. Both of the families, and you may recognize the Vargas family at 110 because they have Vargas Bakery and Vargas Taqueria on Highland, and they are food centric and they make their money off of food. So the same goes, and the same concept is applying for Neil Sharma and Jose Portillo at 200 South Haven. They've already spent. So here's the bottom line. There's a Class B restaurant license at 200 South Haven. The prior operator closed his kitchen completely. And the liquor board said, well, you're a restaurant license. So if you have no kitchen, you have no liquor license. So the Sharmas spent about $12,000 getting that kitchen in super shape and getting approved by the health department. They've spent another $40,000 just on interior renovations outside of the kitchen. They're a serious family. Sunil Sharma, who's on this call, is the owner of a Class A license up in Harford Road, 5517, for several years now. He has a great relationship with the community. And his son, Neil, who's the applicant here, has apprenticed under him. Jose Portillo also has worked in the restaurant industry and is the general manager at 200 South Haven. The trade name is set, it's been approved by the state. It's El Dragon Cantina. So I'm excited for them. I really think that the last ownership, quite frankly, as somebody who's been on both sides of the board, didn't help his case because he was routinely cited, violated, and convicted of live entertainment violations without authorization. And it can happen to everybody 1 or 2 times. But when a guy gets 4 and 5 charges, it sort of appears that you're just you're going to pay the fine. It's just cost doing business, and it's a little bit offensive to the community and stakeholders. In this case, the applicants here tonight, they understand that they do not have live entertainment, that this is an industrial district, and that should they in the future attempt to change the law, that they will come to the Highlandtown Community Association before entertaining such an idea. They will comply with the laws, whether it be underage sales, whether it be the addresses prior history of staying open at 2:06 a.m., 2:08 a.m. They understand what time closing is and that there can be no customers in the bar at a certain hour. So they're food centric, and they are serious business people. So I'm very excited to introduce Neil Sharma. Mr. Sharma?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hello.
All right, thank you. You're on the left, your dad's on the right, Sunil. And you're Neil.
Is Jose Portillo is
Oh, I'm
my general
sorry.
manager is like right side from me, and Neil
I
is
see. Okay.
separate. Neil is at home. I'm at the bar 200 South. I'm at the restaurant is 200 South Heaven Street here.
All right, thank you. And Mr. And Neil Sharma, if you could, I just want to ask you a couple of questions and have you speak.
Yeah, of course.
All right, thank you. Neil, just tell me about how excited you are to serve the community and to serve food.
Well, I do love food. This is what I'm like most excited about. Like, I always wanted to have a restaurant, and this is near Fells Point, which is like one of my favorite spots. And
All right, but you understand it's different, a little bit different than Fells Point.
yeah, I understand.
Right?
Like, I just
Okay.
know it's close
And we
by.
have, all right, so tell me what the security plan is at 200 South Haven Street.
Okay, so we definitely do plan on having security, and the company we looked at is called, give me 1 second.
Sure.
It's called Protect and Serve Security LLC.
All right, and you plan to have professional security on Friday and Saturday nights, right?
Yes, especially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if it gets really busy.
All right, so tell me about your menu and generally. You serve three communities at this point, right?
Yes.
All right, so just tell us about the breakfast and the lunch and the dinner.
I don't have the menu with me.
Actually, Jose and me have a menu. Neil don't have
Okay,
menu, but
that's okay. In the interest of time, in the interest of time, you offer multiple different types of Honduran and Salvadoran and Mexican cuisine, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And as far as carding people, which I don't know was a strong suit of the prior management, tell me about who you're going to card.
Anyone under the age of 35.
All right. And as far as a dumpster, how often is trash removed from the premises?
Each week. So we there's a property nearby and they have big trash can spot, and we talk to them. So whenever we have trash, we can drop it in their trash can and they'll have their trash removed each week.
we have a Tiffany Catering service, which is the 4116 East Lombard Street. I have a contact with him, and they have a 2 dumpster in the parking lot, and I have to pay them is a $300 every month. They charge me, and they have a contact with the big dumpster company, and they give me the letter and everything, which is he say you can bring the every day. So we have to bring the every day. That's the whole trash bags and dump it in the Tiffany Catering Service dumpster in the parking lot.
Thank you. And Neil, tell me what you've learned from working under your father during your youth at
learned so
5517 Hartford.
Yeah, so my dad got his liquor store 2 or 3 years ago, and I started working with them immediately while doing my college on the side. And I've learned like so much about liquor business. I know like all the names about liquor, what different types of people want to drink, and like how to order from different companies, how to manage inventory. I've also like built him a website for his liquor delivery business, and I made him do over 6-figure in sales a year online only. So
All right, but Neil, let's talk about the things that might interest the community most. You've dealt with customers who come in and who appear to be intoxicated, right?
yes, of course.
Yeah, and you've dealt with customers who are difficult, right?
Yeah, all the time.
All right. And you know how to dismiss somebody from the premises, and you've never been afraid to call the police, right?
No, not even close.
All right. Tell me again, if you know, is this something that you're hoping to open up to the wider community, to everyone in Highland?
Yes, I love to serve all types of different people. I believe in
All right,
diversity. Yeah.
and Jose is going to be the manager, and he's been working with you guys since January, right?
Yes.
All right, and he didn't work with the last guys, right? He's not
Oh,
a
definitely not.
holdover from the last administration. All right. Thank you. I've been trying to send the menu in the chat, and I haven't been able to technologically work it out. I could get my teenager
We don't need,
to give it
we
a
don't need the
go.
menu at this point.
So,
Well,
all
you know,
right.
we'd love to see what the food there is eventually, but that's not really relevant to our,
Sure.
to our discussion now. So a couple things. I got a notification from someone on a private chat. Apparently there was an event there last weekend. Do you know anything about that? There were numerous 311 calls about this, and I'm
Well,
completely unaware of it myself, but it's coming.
Yeah. I'm not aware of it, and I don't think my clients are aware of it, but I do notice a very recent trend where when a place that has been shut down for a while reopens, the 311 calls happen. So let me very detailed explain exactly what happened. Mr. Sunil Sharma, who's on my screen right now, the dad, he bought the building, okay? And Neil bought the license and is applying for the transfer of that license along with Jose Portillo, who's seated next to dad. The license, the health department license for Two Louis was not suspended. It was completely revoked because they didn't have an operable kitchen. And when Mr. Sharma purchased the building and younger Mr. Sharma purchased the license, there was a management agreement in effect, which allowed Neil and Jose to reoperate the bar pending the transfer application, which has been filed with the liquor board. However, because the health department permit had been revoked, there was no health permit. So they said to the Sharmas, you can't open and even serve beer until that kitchen is not only past inspection, but you have a full food certificate in the name of your company, Sai Baba Hospitality LLC. So that's exactly what happened. So their grand open, or not grand opening, but their actual reopening of 200 South Haven occurred this weekend on Friday night. And it was done with the blessing of the liquor board, the health department, and housing, with the UNL in their name. And that's a pending transfer operation. So whatever happened this weekend, I'd like them to answer to that, because you know they and the anonymous complainants may be privy to more information than you and I are, Brian.
Yeah, well, it's all hearsay to me.
Sure.
However, you know, if it's been opened, you know, in advance of when they were supposed to be open, and it was open under this, you know, proposed new management. Yeah, I'm just going to say, you know, this board we're going to talk amongst ourselves after the fact, and you know, if things didn't follow the way they're supposed to follow, it's not. You know, it's not giving us a great feeling. I will tell you that.
I
We'll
hear
do
you.
some further research on that.
No, I appreciate that, and if you are able to get specifics, I mean, my clients can easily learn from, from these events. So
Well, but
I'm grateful,
Steve,
but like I said, this has happened in other neighborhoods recently. When a
well,
somewhat dormant places open up, it startles people. If there's more to it than that, they'll fix it. But thank you.
I understand that could happen, and I'll do some research and try to find out what the nature of the complaints were. And if they're just, noise in a place that hasn't been noisy for a year since it's been closed or whatever, then, that's not a big deal. But, we're going to do our homework on this for sure. I will say that any opportunity that we have to engage in a memorandum of understanding, we intend to do so. And Steve, you and I have talked about this before with this business itself. And I can give everybody here a little bit kind of an overview of what we ask for in a memorandum of understanding. But essentially, I'm going to ask the Sharma family to answer some specific questions and tell us what their intentions are. Hours of operation for the kitchen, security, which we've already touched on. At what threshold will security be brought in? I'm sure on a Monday night, if you've got 10 people there, you shouldn't have any need for security. But on a Friday or Saturday night, when you have a lot more people, there certainly will be concerns regarding security. Do you have a feel? Well, we'll put all this in writing, but we're going to want to know, hours of operation and that kind of thing, and at what threshold you will bring security in, things of that sort. And I'll communicate with Steve offline and, ask the questions, and he can share it with the Sharma family. And essentially we're just going to ask you what your intentions are. But we're going to ink it in, and then we will all sign the memorandum of understanding. You will, I will, and it's a binding agreement, and it will go into your liquor board file. But essentially, we want to know what you guys want to do, and then how you plan to manage things, and then with your, with what you tell us, we'll sign it, we'll agree to it, and it will go in the file. Did I see a hand up a minute ago?
I think Matt had his hand up. Matt from the liquor board.
Oh, Matt. Matt is here.
I was just going to offer, if you do work on a memorandum of understanding, if you want any help with that kind of thing. And I'm happy to look into any 311 records from the weekend, if you wanted me to.
Okay, I'll get with you.
Thank you, Matt.
So, but all of that stuff, it sounds, well, it's really not a big deal. We're just going to ask you what your intentions are, and we're going to ink it in. And it's essentially a boilerplate document that we get with every establishment that sells alcohol within our community. That's our intention.
Okay, so yeah, so you wanted to know what the hours are. So
I'll put it in writing in an email, and we'll ink it in. I don't need an answer from you at this moment.
Okay.
Plenty of time to think about it.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure. That 400 block of Conkling Street, I sure hope they're going to finish that soon. It's a mess.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Very much.
Have a great night.
Very much.
You too.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And I see at least 2 people here from Workforce Workshop Development here to discuss the Bank Street Apartments. And I believe you're going to have a slideshow for us. So if I can figure out how to share a screen, and I think I can, we'll make it work. But you guys are up.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. If you can get the PowerPoint up, that would be ideal, or else maybe Richard has his.
I have it, Chris. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Hold on. Put it this way, I had it.
All All right, well, I still have to figure out how to get you to shareable mode. All right, and I think you can share.
The, let's see. Hold on.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. So here is an update on Home Highlandtown. I'll start at the top because there may be some new people in this meeting, but we are developing an apartment project, which is about 149 apartments on Bank Street. The official address is 3905 Bank Street. We have frontage on Eastern Avenue, on Bank Street, and then the other streets around us are, we've got Grundy on one side. Go to the next one. All right, and here are some of our milestone dates. So we've spoke with the Community Association, I think 2 or 3 times now, even when it was just an idea, but now we were able to bring the project to fruition. We broke ground in March 2021. We did some of the foundations and garage in July, and we've been really progressing the construction. So if you ride by the street now, you can see the building in its full form. We are basically topped out now. We're putting the roof on the building. All 5 floors are there, and you can see the shape of the building. We are now beginning to do a process which is called getting dried in, which means we are adding the windows and making the building airtight so that we can proceed with the interior. And we are expecting to be complete in November of this year. And here are just some images, you know, that's the as complete rendering of the building along some floor plans. And here you go. Here's an example of what it looks like today. So as you can see, we're finishing up the roof, but it generally is starting to look like the picture, which is a really exciting thing. You can see those are the brick selections. This is just us putting some equipment on the roof. Keep going, Richard. Just some people working inside. So you should see a lot of activity there. I mean, on any given day, I think we have probably about 60 people there. But you know, it ranges depending on what's going on, whether we're framing or doing interior stuff. Some of the windows coming in. Some interior renderings of what the lobby will look like when it's done. We are going to be doing tours as soon as it finishes up. So we would love to give the Community Association a tour through the building. Show you guys the finished product. What we're really happy about, especially, is that courtyard that faces Bank Street. Adding some activity on the street and more lights, more activity is always good. This is a little picture of the courtyard. You can't exactly see the inside of it. It's actually behind me. You can see me. I don't know if you can. But we're really excited to finish up. And that is the project update for Home Highlandtown. We're also happy to take any questions.
Anyone? Questions?
Doug, you're here.
I spent some time in the waiting room, Chris, so I'm glad I got to watch you.
Sorry, I think I wasn't following the waiting room as diligently as I should have been, so I apologize.
No, it's good. And Chris is much more concise than I am, so it's much better anyway.
Did I miss anything, Doug?
No, you're good. You rock, man.
I'm done or not?
Yeah, we're done. We're done with you, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much. And
Thanks a lot, guys. It was nice talking to you.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, fellas. Thanks for presenting. I wanted to just talk about where it's coming out to Eastern. Has that part not even started, or do you have a different a plan on what you're going to do going towards Eastern, where you're going to have storefront on Eastern?
Yeah, so that piece of land, we're going over a ton of different options for it. We are not sure. At one point, you know, we thought it would just be apartments. We're not really sure that that's going to be the final plan. I can tell you that we have went to local vendors, restaurateurs, you know, other types of vendors to try to see if somebody would be interested in the space. We'd like something cool that is definitely accretive to the neighborhood, but also add some more activity on the street, and hopefully bring a new product to Highlandtown. So we're talking to people, we're taking all ideas. If anybody has a great one, we're interested in hearing it.
And I'll just chime in and say that this is the smart way to do development, because you don't want, in a good development project, when it comes to commercial, you want to identify who your commercial tenant is so that you can build out for them and create the best property for them. You don't want to build something and hope something comes. You know, that's not, it could not work, right? So I think they're doing a great job, and I look forward to seeing the whole project come together. Chris, can you just remind us the completion date again? I can't remember.
Yep. November of this year, we will be done, and we will be leasing up for about 12 months after that.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very
Right.
much.
Does anybody else
you.
have anything? Vanessa has asked me to make her a co-host, and I'm not sure how.
When will
Okay,
both lanes
we can
of-
talk
of
about that
Bank- We've got a question. When will both lanes of Bank Street be completely open? We need to figure that out. I think the majority of our big deliveries are here, but they're going to be putting the skin on the building and stuff like that for a couple months. So let me follow up, and I'll send a note to Brian once we have an answer on that.
Okay, thank you. Vanessa, I can make you host. I figured that out.
That's all right.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything in relation to the apartment building? Does anybody else have anything for the general well-being of the community? Oh, Larry, I see your hand up.
Yes, just wanted to, for anybody who doesn't know who I am, I'm Larry Nunley. I'm your liaison for the Department of Public Works, which means that if you have any issues, concerns, complaints, I would like you to reach out to me. I put my email and my telephone number in the chat. The numbers that you see there, as well as the email, is a 24/7, meaning that I find that hell doesn't come at 3:30, it comes at 4:25 on a Friday. And so you'll be able to reach out to me. Do not wait until Monday to send a issue to me. I'd like, if it happens on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, send it to me while it's happening so we can see what we can do about escalating your issue. All I ask you to do is to call 311 first, get a confirmation number, and then when you send it back to me, please send your name, your address, and your phone number. So in case we have to get back to you about your particular issue, we can right away. In the meantime, just have a great week, and I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. So, and I'll elaborate on what Larry just said. Anytime you have any kind of a problem related to dumping or, virtually anything else, 311 is the best way to go, because they're going to give you a report number. If you report it on your app on the phone app is free, by the way, and stores your report numbers. If you report it, they're going to give you a report number, which is great because I can always take it back to Larry and say, hey, we turned this in. Can you tell us what's happening with it? We can send things on to, like when there's traffic related requests we make on 311, we can follow up with that. As long as we have that 311 report number, anything of the sort is very important. Go ahead, Larry.
Plus, I cannot do anything for you without having that confirmation number. Everything is accountable now. If for example, I don't know Miss Wiggins, or rather Kat, I can see her face there. If I just call in and say, Kat told me about this issue, they're gonna ask me, is Kat my sister or my girlfriend? Which one is happening? And you can laugh, Kat, it's gonna be all right. Anyway, that's how serious we are about getting things done and getting things done right. So everything is accountable. So all I ask you to do is to reach out to me and give me an opportunity to give you a real hand on your issues with DPW. Thank you again.
Good. Thank you, Larry. Last but not least, somebody did bring up in the chat, just to remind everyone, the Baltimore Highland, the Highlandtown Community Association hosts a Citizens on Patrol walk every Tuesday night, or nearly every Tuesday night, weather permitting. We meet at the corner of Goff Street and South Conkling Street, and we walk around the neighborhood and we point out problem areas to the officer who is walking with us. Usually these problem areas have to do with, dumping or homes that are open to casual entry. We do a lot of 311 reporting on these walks. But it's a good way to get out and around, walk around the neighborhood, see, the other side of the neighborhood from where you live, and kind of learn about some things. And it's also a good way to meet people in the community. So, everybody's invited, and we hope everybody here will consider joining us on our Tuesday night cop walks at 7, South Conkling Street and Goff Street at 7 o'clock. So, and that's all I've got. One last chance, anyone? Okay. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. Next month will be our last virtual meeting, and then we go live in May. Watch the website, watch our social media, and I'll see everybody back here next month on Zoom, and then in May in person. So have a great night, everyone, and thanks again for coming.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Steve.
everybody.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye.
Good night, all. Good night, all.